What's cracking with you people? This is the Devious Wolf and we're back with another installment of Dynasty Warriors Gundam. In this one we're going to go ahead and check out the satellite elevator because I don't think too much happened last time around. Let's roll.
It's a good thing we've got the Argama. I never expected the enemy to be in space.
But Camille's with the enemy. Is there any way we can avoid this fight?
Haman Khan is here. She'll never agree to negotiate with me.
You said the same thing in our last battle. Plan on using us the same way?
I'm still mulling over what Shirako said. What exactly are you after?
I'm fighting to discover the reason that this planet is falling to Earth. No more, no less. I have only friendly intentions.
Well, I'm cool with it. If there's fighting involved, I say bring it on.
I'm still not convinced.
I understand how you feel, but we have to focus on the battle at hand. Camille won't be an easy opponent.
Tell me something I don't already know. All right, I'll go get ready.
Lieutenant Quattro,
What is it, Captain Hayato?
the Hyaku Shiki is aboard the Argama. I thought you might want to use it, so I fixed it up.
My Hyaku Shiki? I see. I'd prefer to pilot my Gelgoog for the moment, though. Not that I don't trust you, of course.
You really like her, huh?
I have to admit a fondness for her. She's the mobile suit I used to fight Amuro's Gundam.
All right, then. Good luck out there.
My battles with Gundam. It seems I need time to put the memory of my battles with Amuro behind me.
And there we go. Well, let's not waste any time and jump right into it.
Never thought I'd pilot this again.
So as you can tell by that intro cutscene, we are in space now. Here's the weird thing. In the second game, when you were in space battles, and I know it was a weird nitpicky detail that I really shouldn't be bringing up, but I think it's something worth noting, is that for whatever reason, when you were inside a space station, like you had solid ground beneath your feet, the characters still floated. In this game, they will transition from a walking animation to a floating animation. Black Tri-Stars. If I remember correctly, those are the... we'll get to them when we get to them. But yeah, like over here. Let's take a look. See. See, transitions into a flight animation. In the third game, I don't think there actually are any space battles. Well, there are space battles, but they take place entirely on like land. You know, like on a walkable surface. I think. Admittedly, it's been a minute since I picked up the third Dynasty Warriors Gundam game. Been a good minute. But hey, what are you gonna do? So, as you can see there, we have to deal with a character from Zeta Gundam now, and it's interesting to note at this point in the game is that of our characters, like Char goes from being an antagonist to a protagonist and back to an antagonist. And the weird thing is, you can kind of see where the guy's coming from. Initially, anyway. Because in the first series, he was the heir to a throne. He was a prince, if memory serves correct. I believe his family got overthrown. I believe so, if my memory serves correctly. And that's why he and his sister, yeah, he had a sister, and guess what? She was on the ship with Amuro. They were actually good friends, and she doesn't show up again till I want to say the movie, Char's Counterattack. And I think even after that, they don't mention her at all in terms of like the series. At least not that I've seen. And I've seen a good portion of the stuff that takes place that blah 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 blah. When you stop hitting me with missile launchers, guys. I mean, really. I mean, I know I got one myself, but I'm the main character here. I can do whatever the heck I want, and you can't stop me. But yeah, I think even with everything else going on, I don't think they ever mention her. Period.
So you've captured the enemy stronghold.
Which is kind of strange to me because she was a pretty important part of the series itself. I don't remember if she was the older or younger. At this point, it's pretty much irrelevant. But as you know, I think she was the older sibling. But at any rate,
Are these guys? Knock them down.
the thing about the Gundam series is that there is rarely ever
The enemy
a
forces
point
are
in
close.
time,
What's going on?
and I mean rarely ever a point in time, where you have a clear-cut good and bad guy.
You can't touch me.
Like, even when you talk to the bad guy, like even when you watch like when the big moment happens of, you know, tension builds, we hit a climax, and we learn exactly why the antagonist has been doing what they've been doing in terms of the Gundam universe. It's pretty sympathetic. It's not clear cut. Now, obviously what they did is very much like, oh well, this is very clear the bad guy. You're not supposed to root for him. Period. But
Better check it out when we get back.
at the same time, you're like, well, I can kind of see where you're coming from. And I'm not going to go into it right now, at least not with Amro's thing. We'll probably get into that when if or when we get around to showing off the other parts of this original mode, and depending on if people want more of it. As it stands, this is only going to go on for about 5 episodes, and then we're going to jump to something else. But
They'll never expect us to attack from here.
oh, you! I don't like you.
I know. You don't have to tell me.
Anyway, we'll get to more of these characters later. If people want to watch more of it. Oh, well, there goes the Wing Gundam. So, one thing I do like about this series, about the Dynasty Wars Gundam, up into the 3rd game, when they introduce something a little bit new, is that when you're dead, you're dead. You know, because it's one, like, you were literally a one-man army. There should be, like, they're a one-man army. You have top of the line weapons. You have a very good moveset for most if not all of the playable mechs. There's a few clones here and there, admittedly. And you're pretty much just going through 1,000 suits at any given point in time. You have no reason to ever lose, unless you come against like the big bad of the series. You know, I think from my limited knowledge of Dynasty Warriors, in the terms of the actual Dynasty Warriors series, you have a character by the name of Lu Bu, I want to say. And since, for the most part, the Dynasty Warriors and Warriors Orochi by extension, since I think it's the exact same universe, is playing so fast and loose with history that it's like, yeah, we're gonna do this here. So yeah, I do believe he's at a I do believe Lubu is like an actual character in like historical fiction, I want to say. But the main, what am I trying to say here? Yeah, the main point is that you always have that one character that's just like, you don't fight him, period. But the thing with Lubu is that he will show up periodically throughout like the actual story, and you're supposed to run Here you have a character like that, and we will get to that one later. But it's more of a test to see if you know, it's more the ultimate catharsis. You know, you're fighting something that can actually beat you. Also, fun fact: this is these two we're fighting here are also a recurring trope. You always have a group of 3 characters. We saw it early in the first episode with the Yazan squad. This is the Black Tri-Stars, and it's always a group of 3 that give the characters either some it's okay. I should probably clarify. It's either they give the main characters a lot of trouble, and in case of Gundam Seed's story, they actually helped out for like an episode, or in the case of the Mobile Fighter G Gundam series, they're comic relief. But you always have a group of 3. And if you notice there, they moved in formation with the 3 of them moving behind each other. That's what they would do. They would do a thing called a jet stream attack, which essentially one person would move fast, and then they get behind and get a little bit of speed off of that, and they just attack from side to side. And I like the fact they actually programmed in that little detail for this particular squad, because that was the thing that characterized them inside the original series. As opposed to Yazan's team, was just like, we have a group of 3, but they're a lot more dark and edgy than the ones here.
These guys don't know when to quit.
But yeah, they pretty much show up. I want to say they've been in like every single series. I want to say. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, because admittedly I don't have as much experience with Gundam as I'd like to, considering that it's pretty much my favorite animated series out there. Just because you can enjoy it on the level of it's just silly fun, but also on the level of there's a lot of serious crap going on here. Like a lot of serious crap, and I hate this guy. I hate this guy's freaking guts. I really do. This is probably the only character in Gundam I hate character-wise, just because. And I know I'm shortchanging this guy. I know I'm shortchanging him, but I don't care. He's a spoiled brat, and I hate him. He's a spoiled brat. Oh my! Hello, Red.
Must be their main force.
But yeah, so but yeah, I just like the series for the sheer fact that it has colorful characters and whatnot. But what else were you gonna do? Anyway, the Glimmy showed up, and I was on a tangent, and I completely lost it. So, how are you guys today? You probably shouldn't do that, honestly. You really don't. No, seriously, don't do that. But
Crush all of you!
since our journey with Gundam is going to be coming to an end here in the next 2 episodes, I want to say, we're going to be coming close to just final thoughts and wrapping up and whatnot. So, and you guys don't have to worry about me doing the same repetitive attacks again, unless you want me to. I don't know why you want me to, but hey.
Bring it on!
Then again, it's kind of the same problem with every game out there under the sun, if you really think about it. I mean, when it comes to any kind of game, shooters, platformers, heck, even RPGs, actually playing the game visually is very boring. You know, there's not much going on. Probably shouldn't be bothered with this, but you know, I do have a mission objective, and given how slow this game actually moves compared to its successors, it would help for me to do this right now before I forget about it. But okay, come on now. Okay, come on. Oh, fun fact! I think I should mention that if you look here, the green mobile suits are called the Nemos. If my memory serves correctly, they're from Char's counterattack. However, none of the Gundams in the big antagonist suit is show up in Gundam, so it's open here. So it's like, why'd you put them in here? No, wait, those are the Cyans. Never mind. So where the heck were the Nemos from? And yes, they are called Nemos, not Nemos. Gonna get a little bit geeky on you here, but what are you gonna do? Since most of, if not all, you know, because you know, this is a Japan, this is a Japanese property, so most of, if not all of the like actually named enemies, mobile suits, however heck you want to call them inside the series, are actually spelled phonetically, so it would be easier for a Japanese audience to okay, can you get over here? Thank you. But that's actually spelled so phonetically a Japanese audience could better pronounce them in casual conversation, or more sensitive kids could enjoy, you know, playing with the action figures when they came out. But for the most part, they're spelled with the traditional Japanese phonetic system, which is pretty much an entirely vowel-based language. Studied the language 2 years, I want to say. I studied French and Japanese. So French, mostly because I think I was literally that kid who just said, I'm doing this. I want to do something else because everyone's doing Spanish. I think that's literally why I took French. Gun down. But beyond that, there really isn't much reason for me to taking French. But yeah, and since Japanese has 3 spelling systems, they have the hiragana, which is, I believe, the actual spelling, the actual grammar system of the country. They have the katakana, which is essentially, think of it like what England, like what America does. It takes words from other languages and just mixes them in without really understanding the context to them, or with enough of an understanding of the context to be able to use it in proper language. And then you have the kanji, which is essentially Chinese characters. Which if you are a smart puppy, you can take that to mean that you can pretty much take that to mean that Japan got invaded by China at one point and lost. Or if you're one of those guys who likes to think a little bit more deeply about the world, it could be, you know, at one point China and Japan were more closely connected as a continent, and before the language got really far out there, they bloody heck, what was the word I'm trying to? They kept some elements from it. But the more logical assumption would be, especially considering that kanji, I think, has only been in use in Japan for maybe 5 centuries, that they just got invaded by China. I mean, I'm not surprised if you look, but if you look far enough back in ancient history, China, Korea, and Japan have just invaded each other like 50-something times over the course of like maybe what, 200 years. I'm exaggerating, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, heck, if you look at England's system, grammar is just based off of all the Germanic or Anglo-Saxon tribes. I believe they're called Germanic tribes, actually, like the Vikings and the Nords, the Norse and whatever, that just invaded constantly. And he said, you know what, we get invaded so much, you might as well just adopt the language system and just see what happens. And that's about it. Taking a long way here, but I figured, why not build up a kill count. That, I just really don't feel like navigating the maze. I really don't. Get a few going on here. We get some support. Yeah, another thing to mention is that when you actually capture the fields, You have some fields that go max of 50, max of 25, max of 75. Well, the more fields you have active next to it, it boosts. I've got arms beforehand, but it does boost the strength of the field. It that essentially means it just boosts how many fields are there. Also, don't take the black mobile suits here as like, oh, they took the character one and then just made it a basic enemy to make you feel strong. No, that's actually a plot point in the series. Yeah, the character of Puru, which I believe means bounce, is actually a character who's a new type, cyber new type, I believe, which essentially, think of it like they just artificially induced the whole new type thing, and she was raised to be a weapon, specifically designed to control this suit. If you pay attention, and I might show this off later, don't know, maybe, it depends on if people want to see more of the series. They have funnels, like little bits that will fly out and actually help you.
I know this feeling. It's Camille! Amuro, take that! I didn't hit, okay? Go! You're off your game, Camille. Amuro, what are you doing here?
Okay, I did not expect that to actually happen. Camille is the main character of Zeta Gundam, and if you paid attention, that the Gundam he's piloting is called the, you guessed it, Zeta Gundam. The one that Judo was piloting is called the Double Zeta Gundam. Can you guess what series he's from? And this is pretty much what I mean by, and we're going to end a little bit. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, English grammar. Can't forget that in terms of when you talk about giant fighting robots with guns and whatnot. This will be quick. I'm not gonna sit on this too long. But yeah, England got invaded like constantly. It's an island nation. What do you expect? Back in the day, and before it became the world superpower that it is, it was pretty much the, as it were, bottom bitch. Before it became top dog. And as a result of being invaded by so many different tribes with different languages, they just kind of adopted certain words and certain grammars and whatnot until it eventually became what is the English language today. That's why learning English is probably one of the hardest things you can do if you're not growing up in the language, because there's so many rules to it. So many rules with no, it's not even the rules. It's just that there's so many exceptions to the rules. That's literally it. But back on the subject of Zeta Gundam. Zeta, I think the best way to describe Zeta is think of Gundam Seed Destiny. Think of it like that.
You who have harnessed this planet's power. Well done. Now, this planet shall fall to Earth. You shall serve as my sword to bring eternal prosperity.
So this doll set everything up? Everything? Did you know about this, Char? Answer me!
We've lost contact with Lieutenant Quattro, but no one reported seeing him get hit.
What are you trying to pull, Char?
So yeah, turns out this entire thing was orchestrated by a samurai Gundam. And I had to admit, it's pretty much original character Do Not Steal for Dynasty Warriors, but I love it. I love the way this thing is designed. It has a halberd. I believe it's a halberd, or either that or it's a trident. It has a naginata on the back. It has a samurai sword, and it has a flintlock rifle. I mean, and just look at it, you know? I love the way they tied that in. It's like a samurai was pretty much like the ultimate sign of like power and whatnot during like feudal Japan and whatnot. It's like, if I remember correctly, like it was a symbol of military strength essentially. And I like the fact that they worked that into a Gundam design when Gundam's whole theme is based around the futility of war, and how it ultimately does more harm than good. But the thing is that in every single Gundam series, it kind of makes a point that sometimes you need to start a war, but at the same time it's arguing, well, was this war really needed? And that's why I love the series so much. You never know. Like, ultimately, you know what they're going to say. You know, war is bad, you shouldn't start a war. But when you go through the actual series, it's like, how can you think that, you know? At any rate, I've been Devious Wolf. And, I'm completely blanking on my outro now. Let's try that again, shall we? Okay. At any rate, join me next time when we finish Amuro's story of Dynasty Warriors Gundam. I've been the Devious Wolf, and I will catch you next time. Peace!